Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy, of course, Mr. Nunley, and we are going to be going over lesson 9.2. So we finished up line plots, and now we are going to be focusing on ordered pairs, which is why we have this unfortunate lad. My gosh, what is up with this kid? He's got just tall socks with no shin guards, basketball shoes. That face, oh my boy, I'm gonna help you out. Let me help my friend out really quick. No sad vibes in Mr. Nunley's math videos. There we go. So, now that we've gotten that taken care of, we are going to learn about our ordered pairs. So, points are just specific spots on the coordinate grid. For example, this aquarium right there is at a specific point, because it can be described as a very specific location. Coordinate grids are just like maps, especially if you think back to latitude and longitude whenever we were describing absolute location in social studies. Our lines of latitude, or our horizontal lines, are going to be part of our x-axis. So as you can see, the line goes out horizontal, so that's going to be your x-axis. Longitude lines, or lines that go up and down, are going to be your y-axis. So you can kind of remember y-axis goes up and down because the stem of the letter y goes up and down. So if you can't remember it just by looking at the y and x, by looking at the map, then we can remember it that way. So whenever you're listing out a specific point, you have to use the x-coordinate, which describes where you're going to be at on the x-axis, and the y-coordinate, which describes where you're going to be at on the y-axis. So, for example, if we look down here at the arena, it says that the ordered pair for the arena is 3, 2. 3, our first number, is our x-coordinate, and 2, our second number, is our y-coordinate. And that makes sense. It's just like in the alphabet, x comes before y. So to find that, we would move to 3 on our x-axis, so 1, 2, 3, and we would move to 2 on our y-axis, 1, 2. And then you just connect where those 2 points meet. And it's right there. So we would look at where those points meet. Since it's 3 on the x and 2 on the y-axis, it is 3, 2. Now we can take a look over at the aquarium. If you look, the aquarium is over here on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's at 9 on our x-axis. So if we were going to write the ordered pair for the aquarium, we would write 9 for the x-coordinate, and it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, so 4 for your y-coordinate. Pretty simple stuff. I think you've got it. But let's just go ahead and move on. Let's get a few more practice points in. So now that we can actually identify our points on the coordinate grid, let's try and plot or place those points on the coordinate grid. So in order to do that, you look at your x-coordinate and then your y-coordinate. So for example, here it was 5. They went over 5. And then 7 is the y-coordinate, so they went up 7. So we'll do the exact same thing. We're going to plot the point 8, 0. Sounds a little confusing. I promise it's not. You just go over 8. So you go to right over here. And since it's 0, we just don't go up at all. So 8, 0. And since it's point S, we will label it S. So I know the zeros are a little bit of a curveball, but they don't have to be. If it's a 0 for x-axis, then you go over 0 units. If it's a 0 for y-axis, you go up 0 units. So 0, 0 would be right here. 0, 0. Looks like a little face. Nice. And that is going to be your origin point. So if we're looking over at B, in order to plot part S, we moved right 8 units and then up 0 units. Alright, hopefully we're starting to get the hang of this. I will speed up the pace just a tad bit. So you can find the distance between 2 points when the points are along the same horizontal or vertical line, and that makes sense. It's just like a map. You can see how close or how far apart, aka the distance, with 2 points just by looking at it. So we can look at point A is at 9, 3. Point B is at 9, 9. So they're actually on the same spot on the x-axis if you look, because they're both on 9. The y-axis, the up and down, is where they differ. And if you just count, we can go 1, oopsie, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that it is 6 units apart. You can also just subtract those coordinates. Subtract your y-coordinates. So your y-coordinate, 9, your y-coordinate, 3, 9 minus 6 equals 3. We did it. And then over here we have graph the points 3, 2 and 5, 2. Then explain how you can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between those 2 points. Remember, horizontal means from left to right, so that's going to be talking about our x-axis. So let's go ahead and graph our points. We have 3, so we'll go over to 3, and then up 2, 3, 2. And then we have 5, 2, so we'll go over 5, and then up 2. So explain how you can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between these 2 points. Well, pretty simple. If it's horizontal, that's our x-axis. So we just subtract our x-coordinates. 5 minus 3 equals 2. All right. So, really quickly, why don't you try, pause the video really quick, and then see if you can plot points 1 through 4 for me. Alright, good job. So, now we are going to check those parts out. C is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. So 6, 3. For D, we went over 3 and up 0. So that would be 3, 0. Point E is going to go over 9 and up 9. So 9, 9. Don't be afraid to use your fingers for this. It's a-okay. Better to be safe than sorry. And finally, number 4. We have an F. Yikes. We go over 10 and then up 5. So 10, 5. Alright. So again, I am going to give you a minute. Well, not literally a minute. I'm going to give you some time to try and plot and label these points on the coordinate grid now for 5 through 10. So go ahead and pause the video, and whenever you are finished, you can resume. Alright, so whenever we plot the points, the same thing, 0, 9. So 0 is how far we go over, and then up 9. We'll label that point M. Number 6, H. We go over 8, and we go up 6. H. Number 7, we have 10, 4, because we go over 10 and up 4. Money. 8 was 4, 5, so we go over 4 and up 5. P. Number 9, we have 5, 10, so 5 up 10. Get that dub, yes sir. Number 10, we have R at 1, so go over 1 and up 3. R marks the spot. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I am going to let you pause the video and do these on your own. And then whenever you resume that video, all of the answers are going to be filled in. So go ahead and pause it right now and then resume once you've filled it to check it out. And we are back. Hopefully you had quite a bit of success. I know that you all did. If you made any mistakes, what I would say is be very, very, very careful whenever, whoopsie, you are dealing with the 0. If it's a 0 in your x coordinate, like with point I over here, then that means that you're going to be somewhere on the y-axis, because if there's a 0 for your x coordinate, that means that you went over 0 units. If there's a 0 in your y coordinate, like on point R, then that means you'll go up 0 units, so you'll be somewhere down on your x coordinate. So hopefully you were able to check all of those out. 25, pretty simple. Point F and point A. So we see what these are. Point A is 7, 1. Point B is 7, 6. So to find the distance between those 2 points, our 7s are the same. We know that there's not any difference there on the x-axis, but on the y-axis we have a 6 and a 1. So difference between 6 and 1 is 5. You got it, you got it, you got it. Now for these, we're going to try and do that same thing. What I want you to do is this. After I finish explaining this, pause the video whenever I say pause, and then fill this out, and then check with me once you're done to see how you did. And I'll explain number 29, don't worry. So just go ahead and give that a pause. So we are back. So let's take a look at these. 4, 8 for Bryant Station. Sure, we got that. Same thing with the Empire State, but what I want to check out and number 28. Should have gotten that. 0, 3 would have been up here, which is wrong. So let's check out number 29. Raul walks from point B to Madison Square Garden. Paulo walks from point B to Bryant Park. So we're trying to see who walks farther. So let's just see how many units they move over. Not too bad. So let's go Paulo from point B to Bryant Park. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 for Paulo. And now let's go to Madison Square Garden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So Paulo wins. 6 is greater than 5. Nice job. Everybody's happy. And then scrolling down to the bottom. 30 is only going to be A and B. 4 blocks right and 1 block down doesn't work because it's actually 1 block up. And then the station being 5 blocks right and 3 blocks up is actually backwards. It should be 3 blocks right and 5 blocks up for this to be accurate. So, great job everybody. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop that in the comment, email me, call, whatever you need to do, and I can help you get this confusion set up. So thanks for doing this lesson with me, and tomorrow you will tackle that homework. So come back to this if you need any help at all.